Hey yo, no, we're going to fail to do this yet again. So I'm gonna walk through the woods today, so I might as well make another rant video. Today I'm just gonna kind of update on what I'm doing now, why I'm not making so many videos, all that. Well, not that my daily routines have changed all that much. I mean, every day I walk to Tim Hortons. I walk a minimum of 3 miles per day, usually more. So that takes like an hour and a half at least. Usually like 2 hours I dedicate to that. Just like minimal exercise to keep myself going, since I'm not weight slaving or doing anything like that. As far as tennis, I've kind of given up on that. I've kind of given up on being like the old hustler tennis player in the club. Yeah, you get to my age, dude, like tennis gets hard. At my age, like your body just doesn't recover like it used to, especially in the legs. It's like tennis kicks the shit out of your legs, and man, my body just doesn't recover like it used to. It's hard. Yeah, so I mean, I've kind of occasionally I'll go to my wall and I'll just like bang balls around and stuff, but other than that, I'm like, this isn't as fun as it used to be. I don't like feeling like aches and pains in my legs and ankles for days afterwards, which I'm kind of feeling right now. I mentioned before in a previous video that I'm not adhering to my strict 2,000 calorie diet anymore. And, people in the comments noticed that I gained some weight, and I have. Now I'm kind of weighing between 200 and 205 pounds, where I was around 190, 195. I don't care as much about what I eat. I mean, I'm not going out of my way to eat unhealthy shit, but now I'm just now it's I'll just eat frozen pizzas and some sweets. I just don't care anymore. But I mean, I'm not eating like a fat pig or anything. And I think it's been beneficial because for a while there, when I was not eating a lot, I was getting tired a lot. If you notice, on my streams, I just get tired after an hour or so. I mean, part of that is just I just hated doing it, but now that I'm kind of eating more, maybe you would say less healthy, I don't really have those tired feelings anymore. Back in a year or so ago, I used to just regularly take naps during the day and stuff. And you're not supposed to be doing that. And now I don't have any. And now I have a lot more energy, so I think it's more beneficial to be this way. Even if I may be getting a little on the fat side, a little on the overweight side. Because, 6'4", 205 pounds is technically overweight on the BMI scale. And the BMI scale isn't perfect by any means, but, I technically am getting close to overweight again, so I feel good, so I don't care. As long as I feel good. If I can walk, at least 3 miles per day, I'm at least doing something right. So, whatever. And my doctor says my health is fine, so whatever. Not that I trust doctors or anything, but, But the main cope I've been doing now is my PC. It may be sad to say, but my personal computer, by far, provides me the most joy in my life. Easily more than any people, anything else. My PC provides me joy, and I focus my copes more on that. I recently finished my PC build. My Ryzen Zen 3 build. I pretty much maxed it out. A little bit of nerd talk. Generally what's considered the best upgrade for, Ryzen, Zen 3 is the 5800X 3D, because it's the ultimate gaming chip, and I won't get into specifics. And I was planning on getting that, but, well, first off, the price tag, it's like $300 minimum, usually more like $325. And I'm like, it would be nice, and it would like completely finish my, my build. But the negative with the 5800X 3D is that it's plug and play. I mean, it's not a negative, it's a positive for like normal people. You put it in, you're pretty much done. You got max performance. You can't really overclock it much. Overclocking RAM and tuning RAM, it doesn't really do much for the chip. It's a plug and play part. You put it in, you're done. But what I decided to do was I just got a 5600X. I bought mine for $140, and it came with a cooler, which a 5800X 3D doesn't. I sold the cooler for $25. So essentially, I saved $200 getting a 5600X over a 5800X 3D. Now, the 5600X comes with 2 less cores. I don't really care about that. I mean, I don't really use my PC for productivity much at all. And when it comes to gaming, like the reason I chose the 5600X is because you can overclock it and you can like tune RAM to do like massive performance gains. So that's why I chose that, Like stock, the 5800X 3D is probably like 20-25% faster in most games. In some games, it's virtually no performance gain. I won't get into specifics why, but it's generally 20-25% better. But with tuning the 5600X and tuning RAM, you can get it to be kind of like in like the most CPU demanding games, it'll be like 10-15% weaker. And in some games, it's actually better because you can overclock it and make things faster. See, the thing is, like, I'm the kind of guy, like, one of the positives, or I guess positives or negatives with autism is like, if you build PCs and you enjoy that stuff, like I enjoy looking at BIOS screens for hours upon hours. I enjoy doing that shit. Normal people don't. I enjoy like when my PC refuses to boot. I enjoy trying to figure out like, well, what's wrong and how do I fix it? Like I enjoy doing shit like that. Sane people don't. So that's why I chose the 5600X. It requires tinkering and doing all that to max it out, and I saved $200. I'm a Jew, so that's why I chose that. And, like nerdy tech rant nobody cares about, but that's what I've been doing a lot. I maxed out my build, as I already said before. I have a 3060 Ti. I mean, it's not like the fanciest graphics card, but it's more than good enough for my needs. I don't even need that. But it's enough to play like every recent made game 60 frames per second. As long as it does that, I don't need more at all. Honestly, I could survive with like an RX 580. Like I'd be just fine with that. But I got tons of hard drive space. One cool thing I recently did is I'm spending more time on retroachievements.com. It's a site where they like, you know how like Xbox and PlayStation, they have like, the achievements in their games and stuff. Well, Retro Achievements like makes up their own for like all older classic systems. From like Atari to like PlayStation 2 and like Nintendo DS. And one cool thing I did is I found a torrent that has every single game on retroachievements.com and I downloaded it. And it was like 14 terabytes or something crazy, but like I have the space for it. So that's just a really cool thing you can do. Like especially for me as like a kid who grew up in the 90s. Like imagine one day you could just like go online and download every single game for every single console in like the matter of like a few hours. I did that. Like, that's really cool. So now if I ever need like to cope or just like escape from the world or whatever, I can choose one of like the literal thousands upon thousands of games that I can play on Retro Achievements, and I can grind achievements and do that, and I can do that now. That's really cool. So yeah, mostly I just like I'm really focusing more on this how much like my PC does for me. Like I talk about gaming and it's like, you know, porn, you know. Even though I did delete a fair amount of my porn. I still have a whole lot of it, and you know, I got a coom. I'm still cooming like you're probably on average like 4 times a day still. You know, I gotta get it out. Sadly, my libido never dies, but you know, it's you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta get it out. If you don't, then you just get more angry. No fap doesn't work, boys. So there's that. There's everything else, like just going online, like even doing work. Like, I mean, if I really like the best, even like people tell me, oh, well, you're a need and go get a job and do all that shit. Well, like my PC would help the most with that if I wanted to. I mean, I there's a few places I could go right now on my PC, and I could make like at least like a livable wage, like part-time work for a livable wage if I really wanted to do it. I mean, I'm rewarded by not doing it. I mean, that's the shit you people voted for. That's the things that women voted for. Well, I shouldn't go on about things that, you know, women voted for, you know, transsexuals, gay shit, the complete destruction of society. Oh, I shouldn't go on about this on this topic. I won't. Oh. Man, you know, like the Bud Light ads now with that Dylan fruitcake. My God. You think the Jews just don't control everything and just enjoy destroying everything? I shouldn't talk about this. Okay. But, yeah, that's what I've been spending most of my time on now. I'm just focusing on, like, different stuff. You know, because, like... You know, as I talked about in previous videos, like we have to move on. I even saw people in the comments saying, like, move on. Like, how do we move on? What do we move on to? Well, you have to find joy in yourself. Like, by yourself. You have to do it. But there's a lot of, like, bullshit and gaslighting that, like, therapy taught me. But one thing that they were right about, maybe in a roundabout, like, not in the way they meant it, but, like... Us men need to find contentment within ourselves because we're not going to find it anywhere else. We're not going to find it with women. All right? We're just not. Again, look at the studies. I know the studies, the statistics. Well, you know what? It is what they are. And it's a reality. If you're watching this, you're almost certainly never going to be in a healthy relationship. So you're going to have to find contentment somewhere else. You just got to do it. I mean, you can come on here and bitch about how it's not fair and it's wrong and society is crumbling, and you're not wrong about any of that. And I even, like, I watched Reform Stoic a little bit yesterday, and even like he talked about it, he's like, well, you know, like, women just aren't worth any of this. And you know what? He's right. They're not. Especially the kind of women that we can get, like, they're not worth it. So if they're not, well, you know, you're gonna have to find contentment on your own. So, I mean, like, that's what I'm doing. You know, and I get it. Like, you know, with Depressed Unwanted Man, like, the stuff you're saying about Amanda, like, I get it, bro. I was in the same situation. Probably even worse situation. Like, the shit you're saying about Amanda, like, that's the shit that Rowan made me feel. Except with Rowan, like, Rowan would go to all lengths for attention. I mean, she would show the goods in pictures and video calls, and her discussions with me and probably a whole bunch of other guys on here. I don't get the sense Amanda's doing that. So, I mean, like, dude, like, I'm just saying, like, I know where you're coming from. Because, like, that kind of attention and validation from, you know, an attractive young woman, it makes you feel alive. It makes you feel complete. It makes you feel like, wow, like, this is what life is supposed to be. And it is, but, like, it's not for us. It's not for us. Like, the world ain't fair. And, like, I get it, dude. I get it. Like, I know how much it sucks. I know how depressing it is. But what can we do? Like, it's just... what can you do? I mean, dude, like, Amanda doesn't like you at all, dude. She doesn't. And worse on that, like, dude, like, you know the reason why she's probably making all these videos. Okay? I get it though, bro. Like, believe me, I get it. And I recognize that you're almost certainly just going to see all of this through with her because, like, well, what do I have to lose? I get it, dude. I know that's what you're probably going to do. And, like, I'm just going to tell you in the end, like, you're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel lower than you ever did before. I'm just telling you, dude, that's what's going to happen. So... this is kind of why, I mean, like, and going through shit like that is just, it's not beneficial. We have to find our own happiness. You have to cope in your own ways. And if that means, you know, playing your Star Trek game a lot or whatever, well, I mean, like, what else do you got? You got big old rotund ladies. They'll probably give you attention. And they'll probably cheat on you and cuck you too. Because they can. It's kind of the way of humans in general, if you think about it. Like, why do any of us humans do anything we do? Because we can. And let's just be real about it. Like, we want about like female hypergamy. But, like, I mean, us guys, if you're being really honest, I was like, if us guys could be hypergamous, would we be doing the same thing? Yes. Yes, we would. You know, like, in a perfect world, like, you know, there would be balance between sexes and the power would be somewhat equal, and it's not. It's not even close, and it's only getting worse. And you guys know already. You can do a dating app experiment right now. Go as a woman, and you're gonna get like a gazillion fucking comments and likes, and as the chud that you are, you're gonna get maybe like a handful. Some of you get none at all. It is what it is. Like, you know, you have to find happiness within yourself, and that's what I'm focusing on more now. Like, I don't have these rants in me anymore. Like, I don't have that anger in me anymore like I used to have. I had that rage about, like, you know what? I'm in pain, and this shit is unfair, and all of you fuckers know it is. So, like, I'm just gonna bitch until, like, you know, you see this. And yeah, I mean, like, and the thing is, like, you see with, like, other situations, it works. You know, with, like, third wave feminism, it eventually worked. You know, with niggers wanting free shit, it eventually worked. And then I just copied them, getting free shit. So, I mean, even that worked in some way for me. But, and then with, like, transsexuals now, they just bitch up a storm and blah, blah, blah. And it works. So it's like, you see it works, and it's like, well, why don't I just keep bitching? I don't know. I don't know the answers. I really don't. But, I don't know. I'm just, like, I don't know. I'm just focused on myself and what makes me happy. And bitching endlessly is just not going to do anything. And also just, like, I really want to avoid, like, the crab bucket shit that is prevalent, you know, in the manosphere. And it is. There isn't a day that goes by where I have just some guy following me and there's like, ha ha, you're ugly, ha ha ha, like, this girl will never talk to you, ha ha ha, you think that you have any value to this woman? I see that shit every fucking day, dude, and it's like, yeah, okay, dude, yeah, like, I know, but, like, constantly beating myself over the head with that is just not gonna do anything. And the thing is, like, I realize that a lot of the guys who are watching this channel like, you're here for that purpose. And I'm just like, I'm just kind of done with that. And, there's some of the commenters here that, like, I'm just going to get rid of now if you're going to do that, because, like, well, yeah, I know it's reality. Yeah, like, I really wish in my prime I would have had a Rowan or a Talia or a Vegan Dolls or an Allie or anyone like that. And it didn't happen. Okay, so that's it. Like, I complained for years about it. I'm not going to do it anymore. So, yeah. Well, I'm just about home now. I think I ran long enough. I'm going to go play some video games, enjoy my iced coffee, and make do the best I can. Women aren't everything. Like, if a woman doesn't want to make my life better, which, they don't, well, we gotta make our own lives better. Like, that's the deal, boys. It's just time to move on. And really, like, that's the main thing I think you gotta take, from the 63% of men not dating and 34% of women are dating, whatever. You know what I mean? You gotta take that, like, well, that's the deal, boys. And that's it. I gotta go move my truck. But, yeah, that's it, boys. I gotta go check for my mail. So we're gonna end it now. Bye-bye.